And welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything happened on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a pretty good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Raw. What do you make of the show?
A bit underwhelming, if I'm honest. There were things I liked. It's Monday Night Raw. But I thought some of the big things that we were previewing yesterday with a lot of excitement and suspense and all the kind of stuff, the cliffhanger they were able to arrive at basically last week wasn't handled in a way that I would have done personally. And a couple of the promos in particular were just annoying. I felt, we'll get to it when we get there, but I just felt like it was more about interpersonal politics and choices being made behind the scenes. The unrealification of it all felt like it was coming through the fiction yet again, not for the first time this year. I don't want to right out the gate get tribal about it, but I'm prepared to say it. I think SmackDown was better this week. And that, that almost never happens. He's just shaking his head. He knows that almost never happens.
Nah.
That's a couple of weeks in a row now where SmackDown's absolutely smoked Raw, which I wouldn't have expected. But it was just, the big talking points was the stuff that let this one down for me. And the smaller, less important stuff was all right.
There was one thing that I really enjoyed and was kind of mouth agape at very early in the show. I echo Hamflett, though, big picture, the fallout from what ultimately, if you want to, it's always a massive opportunity when something bad happens in wrestling. You could have strapped up a new star. You could have went all out. And here's the thing as well. I don't like invoking the guy's name because he's a complete evil prick. But Vince McMahon knew that this time, was the time to maybe do some experiments. It's that kind of boring, inessential period before the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania stretch. A lot of the Money in the Bank cash-ins would happen around this time of year. We'd experiment with a new champion. Triple H just doesn't have a bold bone in his body. So often when he does something, it's at the urging of someone else, Nick Khan or The Rock, or it's when it's thrust upon him. We'll kind of have to have the vision turn on Seth because of the Seth injury. The way in which this title abeyance stuff was handled just underscored to me yet again, right? These are new problems under a different regime. When are the next generation of stars actually going to get built? When are you going to tell me this person has just changed the goddamn landscape? It is their world now. It's just he's somehow managed to just create and continue this feeling of stasis that the top main event picture has been in for a long time. Bit of a spoiler, Braun Breaker's not in the title picture. Is it not time, especially when he's been booked like he was last week? When? When is it going to happen?
You can't have everybody on the identical, for their
the treadmill.
Use their phrase, and they're the road to WrestleMania run if you're pushing somebody. Not everybody can be on that identical. We talked about Stephanie Vaquer. Had Naomi not had to vacate the title, maybe they'd have saved Stephanie Vaquer's crown for WrestleMania, but then maybe not. But maybe that felt like that was where you were at with that character, and they've expedited that. But it's not been a bad thing because she was super over, and you kind of just go with it, and fans back winners, yada, yada, yada. I'm increasingly becoming of the opinion that the majority of people shouldn't be saved for road to WrestleManias, because it does feel like as we kind of find ourselves on decline of a true boom, a slow decline, but a decline nonetheless, it's almost like somebody catching fire.
Sorry, I was just wondering if Kenny Omega and Jack Perry can coexist. I mean, it was good. It was a good, encouraging start at Wrestle Dream, and then the trios match.
We can't know for sure, can we?
Until then, I'm not going to get any rest.
The state, not the state things are in, that would be overstating it, but the way things are currently shaped with this roster, there aren't that many like huge WrestleMania matches left, or they're not showing me any. There's 2 or 3 big ones, but as opposed to a couple of years ago when there were loads of them. There's not now. There's a few pretty big ones. Otherwise, I know it's like goes against conventional wisdom sometimes, but if there is like someone who's getting hot or somebody that feels over, like what was happening with Stephanie Vaquer, they did just take the bold step to be like, actually just belt her up now and see if she can run with it. And let's see if by next WrestleMania she's just stayed over, and she probably will. I'm not necessarily saying for me like Bron Breakker would have been a right now guy, but I would have liked him more in the conversation. I wasn't like unhappy with the outcome. We even talked about him as a potential candidate yesterday. I think there's something interesting in how he might potentially win the title if he indeed does as Saturday night's main event. However, it does feel like the ceiling is being lowered increasingly on just people that get hot, people that break out. I really cannot shake this fantastic Brian Alvarez take about John Evans and Leon Slater. Like he's unlocked something in my brain that was like sat dormant for a long time about just how many wrestlers the veterans are saying, yep, guy for the future. Like there are definitely times historically in wrestling where it's very important that you acknowledge that the future is right now rather than 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Javon Evans is 21, so you could rationalize waiting 10 years to push him. But why? If he's just really over. Like Ilya Dragunov coming back and winning was a great example, I think, of just thinking, people have actually missed him. And what if you bring him back and middle him by not having him beat Sami Zayn? Do you then run the risk of like ruining all that goodwill that was laying dormant in people for Ilya Dragunov? And they saw it all the way through, and he won the belt. He beat the guy, and I just...
How good was that match, by the way?
Really good. Really
was
good.
it 9.6 up 5 on Cage Match good?
No. Cage Match...
I know. I just want to make sure.
They've got a hard on for Ilya like Dave has for Ospreay. Like I remember doing the best. It was a list.
There's like a Fed thing as well of like probably the best match of the year. Actually, I know AEW does best matches, but we'll pump this up. We'll inflate this.
It's that tens and zeros thing, isn't it?
Dave will rate in the Observer this week.
Oh, yeah, without question. He rates everything.
I remember like about 3 years ago doing a list of the website where it was like 10 best WWE matches according to the internet, but it was Cage Match we were using as a source for it, and like Ilya and then Walter were just all over it. Those like Takeover UK matches, and like a couple of them were good. Like I like the BT Sports Studio match and stuff, but
I love that.
But like a couple of them are just like,
made me feel alive at a time when I needed it.
Some like this was like from the Ilya where I would look on and be like, ugh.
Gave you the ick before, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I was looking for a little bit more zest in the ideation around this world title, and I didn't really get it here.
Nah, it's just woefully uninspired.
See, I liked it more than the two of you, but I can also see where everyone else is coming from. Like, I've looked online today and seen people getting annoyed about, the lack of LA Knight getting a title shot or whatever, or the fact they've gone back to Jey Uso. And I can see why people are saying that, or Bron Breakker not being involved in it. But I also quite like the direction that they're going in, because I feel like it is still advancing the stories. I think people are kind of boiling it down to too much of a basic take of like, oh, here we go again with Jey Uso. Well, no, it's not the same Jey Uso that was world champion.
No, I agree with this completely.
The LA Knight thing, I completely agree with what you said on the preview yesterday. The joy of LA Knight is in the chase. If he just, because he probably, I think whoever faces Punk or Jey Uso may well leave Saturday night's main event as world champion for the long-term booking, as you've mentioned with Punk and Cody. The Bron stuff I also didn't mind as much as other people did as well, because I thought like, yeah, if you're Adam Pearce, you're going, well, no, you don't get to just murder the world champion and then go, probably put me in the title picture of anything. And the way they tried to mug him off, I like that. Because right at the beginning of the show, when they tried to mug him off, I was like, oh, you've made Pearce look a bit of a bitch there. And he's meant to be the general manager sort of laying down the law.
But you write that bit. You could just not write that bit and write a bit where Bron Breakker gets in somehow. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if I like I'm not saying that you should delay Bron, but I don't think it's going to be like 2020, mid 2026 till he finally gets in and around the title picture. I think this is one of those things that they've done this deliberately so that he's like next week, sorry, Jey Uso's in the title picture.
I think so. Like, to be totally fair, even in not particularly liking how this played out, I'm very much willing to give it the let it play out privileges, because I said it yesterday, and I do think CM Punk was like going to lose at Saturday night's main event or not leave with the title, however that was going to play out. So they've had to put somebody in that could potentially be winning the world title here. I'm starting to wonder if that match doesn't get a finish and the belt stays in abeyance or something like that, But it was a tricky situation that they put themselves in. That's what I can't like. You could argue if you want to defend them that they've kind of got a situation here where if it was going to be Seth and Punk, now they've got to put somebody who can beat CM Punk or who can maybe cheat to win to retain the title. It's like, or you can rethink that match. You can rethink your Saturday night's main event, and you can work out another way in which you don't have to do either of those things. It's a work. You can
do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want, and that was it. It's like the Jey Uso thing did feel like a sort of solution to the problem, because I am kind of interested in like, will Jey Uso cheat to get this done? Will it feel undeserved? But will that be the point? I quite like that as a story. It feels like in line with where Jey Uso's going.
I feel like people overlook that when they said, why? Jey Uso just got pinned. Why didn't LA Knight win? And I was like, that's kind of the point.
I say this about Sidge all the time. There are very few people that bury WWE correctly. Sidge is one of the
I'm
only
about
ones.
to do it in about 10 seconds.
But they didn't need to box themselves in.
Yeah.
There. That was the thing that like stuck out to me with this choice.
My pushback on your like sort of cautious optimism surrounding Jey Uso is this, right? It worked earlier in this year because the idea is people absolutely adored this guy, and he was that sort of like bit rubbish, but pure of heart baby face. Like not even a baby face, the correct term is fan favorite.
Yeah.
Of like, right, well, he's a bit rubbish mechanically and not everything he does looks good, but like driven by the support of the crowd, he can do improbable magic things because they've got this relationship, and it's magic if you're into it. This falls apart, and I suspect this heel title run might become a farce if in fact it happens, because Jey Uso, and I did say it will matter at some point, is a absolutely atrocious professional wrestler, like atrocious, kind of gets worse every single week. Almost Mr. Bean levels of clown. It's one thing to fill in the blank and sort of live and sort of attune yourself to the idea of, he's hopeless in the ring and not everything he does looks good, but my God, people love him and he's got this undying will to win and whatever. Watching him be like controlling the action, doing heat sequences, being dominant, wily, crafty, the guy's an idiot. It's just, there's going to be a dissonance there that is just going to be farcical if in fact this is where it's going.
So it's
a bad story. I get they're telling a story, but it's a bad one, and he's going to be wildly miscast.
I think there is. I'm not sure they'll do it because of the worry of exposing too many of the flaws that Sidgwick highlights there. There is a fantastic line skirting promo in the chamber from CM Punk if they choose to book that segment next week, where he kind of leans into the snarkiest version of himself to say all those words in that way that he does with a sort of babyface hair ruffle. Boy, he's killing you. You know, like the way that so few but CM Punk does, because he's such an asshole. But like, you know, come on, Jay, I'm not telling you anything. You surely don't already know, right? Like and Punk doing it that way, like, I'm going to beat you at Saturday night's main event. You're all right. You're an all right guy. But come on, I'm the best in the world. And you're Jay.
And you're one of the worst.
And you're Jey Uso.
And you're literally one of the worst.
You might be diametrically opposed to that guy, Jey Uso. Like, there's such a cool promo cut there between these two.
In terms of how long they've been at it, like, you can't compare Jey Uso with, like, the most green... Dark State.
Yeah.
Who, in terms of there's every promotion, WWE and AEW, like, who is the worst wrestler in the world right now? It's probably one of Dark State. The guy who is the arse, formerly known as Jimmy Blade, pointed out wrestles like he himself with the way his legs opposition. It's unfair. Like, he could get good. Jey Uso is a decade and a half veteran, and he gets worse every single week.
I'd like we're talking about now, I guess, it'll save some of the analysis from the end. My defense of Jey Uso stretched a long way because I really believed in it. To go back to what I was saying before, like, that wasn't just striking while the iron was hot. It was too hot to touch. Like, I think it would have been mad not to go as far as you possibly could with Jey Uso, and I genuinely believe they did.
Sorry. I was just wondering whether Jay and Jimmy can just thrash things out and be friends again.
Winning the world title was the right call. Doing it at WrestleMania, creating that visual, creating that moment, and then like the moment that itself was sold by countless other versions of that, going back to SummerSlam 2000, 23? Like the first time he got the big like yeet in Detroit off the back of the Usos winning at Money in the Bank. Like all of that was earned, you know. I backed it to the hilt. And then when he lost it, I backed that too. And I thought there was the worthy experiment. Take the successes from it and take those and sort of like move on now and figure out where Jey Uso fits. Where he fits, I do genuinely believe is quite an interesting, slightly like an emotionally fragile figure. Somebody that like you would think at this point as Sidge mentions 15 years. There's a suspension of disbelief here because you have to look at this guy like he's like 22 or something, and he's not. He's well into his 40s and he's like super experienced. So you have to apply a bit of your own like enjoyment into this character, which I fully accept. But like a guy that like had to work so hard just to even like get control of his own like emotions, to have the confidence to rise as high as he did, and then the second he's fallen, so too is that confidence. And that's how Roman Reigns figures back in. And that's how next week I imagine CM Punk might figure back in, just to like get right in there. And, you know, he's the perfect character for that.
Yeah.
Because other characters can bounce off him very well. But I don't disagree with the point at which like I could go a long way where Jey Uso's a crap wrestler. And it's absolutely fine by me because it makes sense with the stories he's in. The heel world champion is where that does fall away. Like where that gets eroded pretty quickly.
It hasn't happened yet.
Especially a heel world champion under Triple H, because you know, you're going to be one of 5 matches on PLEs and you might be the last one. And when like the last one stinks, it's pretty embarrassing and it's pretty, you know, like that. And you're giving up the merch money and, you know, like
Happened a lot this year as well.
Away goes yeet and all that. And like like you're taking something away in order to drive this character forward and that. And maybe that's all right. Maybe that's like the Shield breaking up in 2014. Maybe you're going out just before it started to burn out, and maybe that's all right. But yeah, the match quality is something that's never bothered me up until the point where we might be staring down the barrel of the heel world champion, and then it could be an issue. Like we'll see. Yeah. I've got a lot of time for the Jey Uso character because they've put so much into it. I think he's been an immensely rewarding character. I think like in the same way that I will defend to a point, like Seth Rollins is a bit of glue for a lot of other characters, I'd say the same is like sort of true of Jey Uso. I don't know. I could see this not having a finish at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah.
But then again, why arrive at that? Other than to create the suspense.
I think this is the thing.
I do think people will be like leaning in.
People are really intrigued by this. As much as they might not be happy that it's not LA Knight or Braun Breaker or whatever, you can't deny that you want to watch and see what happens.
You know, I'm not completely turning around on it, but like that is a positive.
Yeah.
They've arrived at something here. Like
it's a title match. It's the bare minimum.
I suppose, like, I'm trying to think of like another example. I didn't like it then. I still don't like it now. I don't think it holds up. I didn't like the John Moxley CM Punk flash win, but it created immense intrigue around the rematch. I wouldn't have booked it, but it did. It was like, well, how's this going to go? He's just beat him in 10 seconds on television. What is there politics attached to it? Like, what's the play, you know? And that's what this has. But I wouldn't say I'm necessarily in it with the fiction particularly. That's Punk's job next week. He's got a week to like cut that fantastic killer go-home promo where he just reduces Jey Uso to dust, and like Uso's like, then what? Like, does he have his confidence racked? Does he say, I'm not little Roman Reigns, I'm big Jey Uso? And it's like, I don't believe you. And like, you know, that, like, I think that could be quite good. Like between, he pinned him to get the title shot.
Yeah.
Like he pinned Jey Uso last week to get this title shot. So he's already, to Punk's mind, the job's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, he's the uncrowned champion.
And I thought another brilliant week for Dominik Mysterio, because there was a bit when people thought it's going to be Dom, and I was like, that's great as well. Like, I will double down on my opinion that there's no one else, not even Sami Zayn, that I think should win Money in the Bank next year. Dominik Mysterio should have it. He should be a world champion in 2026.
Yeah, don't disagree.
No,
with
he should.
He's brilliant. But let's start at the beginning of the show. We see a recap of everything that happened, obviously, last week with CM Punk becoming the number 1 contender in the division, betraying Seth Rollins. And then there's Adam Pearce, the GM for Raw, standing in the ring, welcomes us to Monday Night Raw. And then we see a truck pull up backstage. And the first thing we see is sort of the World Heavyweight Championship. And obviously the two Bronnies and Paul Heyman walk out and walk to the ring. Pearce says Rollins banged up, was banged up, coming out of his match with Cody Rhodes, but then he was completely taken out by what the Vision did to him. He announced that Rollins was stripped of the world title and that there would be a battle royal tonight. The winner of that goes on to face Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event next weekend, of course, for the vacant title. And he says, now, gentlemen, to the Vision this is, That no longer belongs to Seth Rollins, and it sure as hell doesn't belong to you, Bron. I'm going to need you to hand over that championship. I got a little bit nervous because Bron Breakker in these sort of scenarios is a bit unpredictable. He said, what if I don't? And I was like, he said, show me some respect. And Adam Pearce says, Bron, respectfully, I'm going to need you to hand over the championship respectfully. Bron's like, I always like it when he looks at someone, then just looks past them. He goes next to them and he just goes, say please. He's like, Bron, respectfully, I need you to hand over the world title now, please. He says, see, wasn't so hard. And he hands over the world title to Paul Heyman to give it to Adam Pearce. And Pearce leaves, and Heyman grabs a mic and says, before we go any further, someone smart me up to this. Why is everyone so mad at us? I get it, we're the bad guys, woo, and all that. But what do we do to deserve that?
Did something interesting.
The Vision had...
I was saying boo earns.
The Vision had nothing to do with Seth freaking Rollins. I didn't leave the tribal chief Roman Reigns and betray my best friend CM Punk for Seth Rollins. I pulled that move at WrestleMania because Bron Breakker is the future of WrestleMania. I pulled those moves because deep in my heart, I know that Bronson Reed was better than Roman Reigns. And he proved that in Perth, Australia. It was tribal thief over tribal chief. It was vision over bloodline. And there's Seth Rollins pointing to the future with his one good arm. He couldn't shoulder the responsibility of leading the Vision into the future. He's not a visionary. He's not a revolutionary. He's not the workhorse of the Shield. He's not the leader of the Vision. He's a bum shoulder bitch. Let's set the record straight. Winners write history. These are the winners right here. That's his spot. Main event in WrestleMania was taken by Bron Breakker. And Breakker and Reed conspired to take it all away from Seth Rollins. They pulled the trigger. They had the ambition. They had the need, the intensity to become WrestleMania main eventers. That's not revisionist history. That's a revision of the future. Thanks, everyone.
What?
By the way,
What?
welcome to McDonaugh Raw.
I wonder if I like this more if I like the person delivering it, but I found all of this completely insufferable. This was just a constant real quiz off. Like, this is the real quiz. No, this is the real quiz. No, this is the real quiz. And by the way, I win them all. Paul Heyman didn't go with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins sucked all along because I'm Paul Heyman and I know best. I was picking Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed hatched this plan 8 days ago. But I knew that plan that was going to be hatched 8 days ago was actually happened before WrestleMania when I hatched the plan with Seth Rollins to hatch the plan with Bron Breakker. It's like, off, Paul. You're not actually a shoot oracle, you dick.
Isn't that the point?
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe it is right, but then maybe I can't surrender.
Yeah, because I was like, you're just rewriting history to make whatever ends. Just because he was just like, when Bron Breakker did it, he wasn't like, brilliant, we've nailed this.
Do you know what? I take that then. Maybe I'm being worked, but all I could picture was Paul Heyman around that writers' room table, wanting to win. You were Ed Koskey or Triple H suggests this or whatever, and Bruce Pritchard might chime in with it. What about this? And then Paul Heyman says, yeah, but then how am I the top star? How is it yet another WrestleMania going to be fought over the real world title? Me, Paul Heyman. That I couldn't shake that.
I think I balanced this with Becky Lynch calling him out later.
That made it worse for me. I thought her performance was far better, which again is why I think maybe this is all about who's delivering the message here. And I just cannot stand him. But I thought Becky Lynch's delivery of this I found to be fine. But the material, exactly the same problem. Can we jump ahead to that? And then, really awkward, because I think it's tied into this. So,
this is after he's been to see Adam Pearce. We'll get to it where he's removing the two bronies from the Battle Royal. And he turned round after the door was slammed in his face, and there's Becky Lynch. And he weasels again. He says, no, you must feel at this moment. But, I had no choice in the matter. They conspired against Seth Rollins because of his injured shoulder. I put myself in physical jeopardy until that became a reality. You're the breadwinner now. Think about your kids. It's about surviving the day. I survived last week, but unfortunately Seth didn't. But there is a vision that includes you. Snaking his way yet again. You can have a hot husband at home and an adorable oracle on the road. She's like, listen to me, you penguin-faced prick. Your snake oil salesman crap doesn't work on me. I don't like you. I've never liked you. I've never trusted you. Neither did my husband.
What?
Unlike the people whose coattails you rode on, we knew you were going to turn on him. He's actually a little bit surprised it took you so long.
Why inflict all of Raw from April onwards onto me then?
This is the end of the Murder Mystery episode of The Office where they're all double agents. They're all just so hang on, Paul Heyman didn't join up with Seth Rollins because he liked Seth Rollins. No. It was to like access Bron Breakker, who he was going to sign up for the future, right? Okay. But then he didn't know Bron Breakker was going to turn on Seth Rollins. That kind of just arrived last week randomly.
Look shocked.
He looked pretty shocked. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch has been speaking to Seth on the side. They're having a chat on their bus. And they're like, oh yeah, Seth, Heyman's going to screw you. And Seth's like, he sure is. I just need to be aware of when that's going to happen for some reason. And he wasn't. So it's like, you lost that round. I lost the battle, Paul, but I'll win the war. And lucky, I kind of already won it when I went with you at WrestleMania, because I knew when I went with you at WrestleMania, I didn't trust you all along. So who's the real winner? And the answer is nobody. Everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I just like the politics that felt in play here of everybody trying to look after the spot. Seth Rollins from the injured list. Sorry, I know you've not even finished it, but it's Becky Lynch's point here. Exactly. We knew you're a snake. We'll get you in the end. Seth Rollins, Colby Lopez from the injured list, conscious of this spot and like where he sits when he comes back and what the landscape might look like. Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn protecting her husband a little bit in his absence as a character. Paul Heyman, like, actually holding the pencil and getting to, like, control a little bit of his spot as well. I couldn't remotely buy into the fiction of this.
Heyman, I can. Heyman just says, I was on the... Because he just jumps from person to person to person.
I can take that. What is worse for me, though, is that this is the vision. If Seth Rollins doesn't get injured, the whole idea is that you make Bron Breakker. And that felt like that was the last of anybody's thoughts, as they all looked after their, like, clung onto their role desperately. You know, if Seth Rollins is as good as he thinks he is, which is as good as CM Punk, it's almost like you can stay a massively over top star while injured. So maybe just do that, Seth Rollins, because the Punk managed it just fine. I don't know. There's levels, isn't there? And I just felt like I was watching pretty lousy politicians like bat the ball back and forth on this at the expense of, ultimately, like, if we're being earnest, at the expense of Bron Breakker, but it was kind of
earnest
at the expense of like the viewing experience. You know, I'm not just trying to be like, oh, what about my Monday Night Raw? Like, this was at the expense of the Bron Breakker character, because he's just been reduced to this like pathetic pawn in like 6 different people's games, you know? And that's not where you were at with Bron Breakker.
I will begrudgingly concede that Adam Wilbourn makes a good point about Paul Heyman's explanation, because it fits the pattern of behavior and over his like managerial career in WWE. However, why did I have to watch any of this? It was I tweeted on the morning after the Raw after WrestleMania, fair dues, half decent angle that's got people talking and I tweeted something to the effect of, get ready for some long, slow promos between Heyman and Rollins. Like, I could not get excited about it, because years and years and years and repeated attempts to push Seth Rollins in this top guy role have failed and failed and failed and failed. Or maybe the 10th year will take. What are we doing here? It's like Dolph Ziggler if he was pushed. That's what Seth Rollins is. Dolph Ziggler if the office liked him. That's what he is. So I was dreading this, and then week after week, it was just the Wikipedia pages, the exposition dumps, the telling and not showing how great we are. I'm like, it's not very good, this, is it? And I just knew this was not going to be good. And then, week after week, lowest, this Netflix thing on Raw's not working very well. Quelle surprise. I knew it. So to go through this incredibly, optimistic, this is the we finally found the vehicle for Seth Rollins. Stop building cars for him. He's a B+ player, if that. So I knew it was bound to fail. I knew it was destined to fail. It kind of failed. If you look at the metrics, and Seth overseeing softening business again. Get well soon. I don't wish you any specific harm. I just found it tedious, repetitive, tell, don't show. Never bought it as an act. I never bought Heyman and Rollins together. So I was never a fan of it. I knew in the years to come, because I'm kind of an oracle myself, I knew in the years to come people would look back and go, I wasted time, that Rollins wasn't it. Who could have foreseen it? You have to look into the future. You had 10 years of the past to inform your predictions. That's how oracles do it. You correctly analyze. If you analyze correctly, you can predict the future quite well. Anyway, to have endured this repetitive, never going to work. Tedium for as long as I did this year, only for him to go, I was going to turn on you. Seth was like, yeah, I was going to turn on you at some point. What? It's the I didn't fancy her anyway of storylines. This again.
It's also a little bit the only person who can kill my legend is myself.
I will concede that it is in character for Paul Heyman. I think Wilbourn makes. You should be more earnest more often because you're actually quite salient when you apply yourself. But instead, you keep mucking around constantly. So if you start applying yourself,
like a note on a year review. Stop mucking about. You could really
salient once.
He's giving the reviews to me. Actually, I give the reviews.
NXT preview later.
Yeah. However, was there not a less, well, that was a waste of time way to go around all of this? Couldn't Paul Heyman have, instead of this, Seth was always rubbish. He was the world champion. He was creating master plans and he was obviously good and he believed it, but you're just telling this weird way out of a story for reasons that genuinely I can't actually fathom. Was there not a more nuanced way of basically pitting Rollins and Heyman at odds with one another that wasn't just, never fancied her anyway. Oh, well, actually never fancied you. Why were you in a relationship? This is, I really burned my ass this. Couldn't Heyman have said, look, I knew he was banged up, Seth Rollins, and it occurred to me when I saw him hobbling around, clutching that arm, seeing it in a sling after Crown Jewel, that, I am disappointed in Seth Rollins. I placed my trust in Seth Rollins. I saw that genius mind, that visionary mind, and we calculated master plans to capture the world title. Put over Seth Rollins. Put over Seth Rollins. The knee injury, as rubbish as it was, you did it, sell it. You did it, sell it. You had this genius mind. We were a brain trust together, me and Seth. But I forgot in that moment that his body has failed him time and time again, and go through the injuries that is kind of not defined, that's not fair, but have played a huge role in Seth's career. Put over his mind, but explain. Don't just retcon it all. Explain that mind was brilliant. That body was never, ever a match for it, and that's why we did what we did. And then, poof, you put sympathy on Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins comes back, you plant the seed. And if Seth was actually able to sell particularly well, you could learn it in his time off. Oh, God, I like Seth Rollins. He's back. That's how wrestling works. Oh, I'm scared about the match, though, because he might get injured, as Mr. Heyman said. Instead of that, I never fancied him anyway. I thought it was piss poor. And more to the point, Heyman and Braun need to establish a good act with really great chemistry. Because now that Heyman's said the quiet part loud of what his MO is, how can I take seriously the Heyman-Braun thing? I want to be shocked when they split up, but I can't now on the back of this.
Yeah. I don't think this was a good night for Braun Breaker's ascension when it should have been the best one. You're doing the Raw after the turn, and I think a lot of other characters and the real people playing those characters didn't have Braun Breaker's best interests and didn't have that push. Yeah. That, if we're going to, I don't even fully agree with Sidge's take on Seth, but if you just take that, a lot of what you said is objectively true.
I'm objectively right.
The one thing you can say from all of that, even if it was just relentlessly, even if you found it relentlessly awful, as I know Sidge did, was, well, it's the Braun Breaker vehicle. And he said, stop building cars for Seth Rollins. They were building one for Braun Breaker as much as anything else. Why
don't you drive it then?
That felt like it took a real hit on this show because there was that Paul Heyman thing of that's what Paul Heyman does. Braun Breaker needs to know that he's who he's kind of gotten into bed with here. Why didn't he just spear him last week as well? You could then start asking the question of why is Braun Breaker being so stupid? Why is he being naive when you are?
Well, he is an idiot.
I guess that is part of his.
He is an idiot. That's part of his charm.
What did he say later on? That did actually make me chuckle. Looks like I got a lot to learn. Bronson was like, yeah, me too. He's like, there's also a lot of people to hurt. Yeah. He was like, yeah, let's do that as well.
Wilbourn, bit of spirited, earnest debate. Yeah. Salient points colliding. This is what I want. More of this, please. I look forward to NXT, yeah?
Absolutely. We head to the clubhouse.
That meant to be the end of the salient conversation jingle button.
Just continue the salient conversation.
Raquel's there going, come on, Roxanne, kick Stephanie Vaquer's ass. Then you're going to be only one step away from winning the world title, obviously, bringing that back to the Judgment Day. Finn and JD are there, shining their belts. Got our work cut out tonight. Dom walks in. What's wrong? Huh? Why is everyone not happy? Sacramento or something? Finn's like, why have you given us a title match? And Dom was like, whoa, I just thought it was unfair that I'm bloody defending on this every week. And you got only AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I've already beaten AJ twice. Come on, what's the problem? You can't take care of them. Finn's like, yeah, of course we can. We're the tag team champions. We'll take care of them just like we take care of every tag team in the division. I was like,
There's two of them. Jesus!
And JD's like, well, you're on your own tonight against Rusev. Roxanne's like, don't listen to them. You've got nothing to worry about.
What you're watching every week
is for 3 years. No, that's not fair too.
I wasn't even going to talk about the brilliance of the Judgment Day in the Clubhouse, but good point, well raised, Sidge. What you're watching right now...
It's not just me, you see.
What you're watching right now with Dominik Mysterio, weekly at this point, is just, for me, like what this business is all about. I want to feel like I've gotten on the ride in time when a baby face is going all the way to the top. And it's, we talk about Batista as the comparison to Bron Breakker all the time. This time in 2004, October-November period was the first point at which the Randy Orton push is completely screwed. Thanks, Triple H. Forget about him. He's done for at least 10 years. Nice one.
At least.
But the big guy was the one all along. Cool.
Is that one?
Yeah. And you remember this, it sold a WrestleMania ultimately. God, it was exciting.
WrestleMania 21.
And then Cena's coming up on the inside, there's two of them, Jesus. They were different flavors, but the Rumble was, illustrative of that. It was just like...
If I was ever going to do a deep dive, retrospective podcast on a Fed topic, which, we watch enough wrestling in the week, we've all got kids and da-da-da-da-da, so the idea of doing a retro Raw review and watching it and taking notes, that we don't really have time for that. You get enough. So I'll be greedy, yeah? I'd want to do a big deep dive into WrestleMania 21. I think that was the best night Vince McMahon ever had and ever would have after Stephanie McMahon took over Chris Kresge and before Triple H took over.
Yeah.
If you look...
And the buy rate supports it too.
If you look at everything accomplished at WrestleMania 21, it is almost ridiculous what a success that was. An unbelievable night. Unbelievable night. I think we should revisit that at some point.
Well earned as well. And there was so much...
We could call it the best night of Vince McMahon's career.
Yeah. I think that's and it was sticking the landing for two separate pushes that feel like this Dominik Mysterio one. He now appears on the screen and everything else is a bit of a blur. He's got that glow, that megastar glow around him, and it feels like, and this used to happen in the last sort of 10 years of the last 20 years of WWE being rubbish, but the 10 of Vince McMahon's last decade, where it was just please don't screw this up, please don't screw this up. But this is a different era, and I can watch this with the comfort of they're not going to screw this up. I don't know how high the ceiling is, but that's just contributing to the excitement. He arrives now, and the fans have made the choice, and the booking has intentionally not quite caught up with that yet. It knows. The people around, again, those same arseholes around the table know this and identify this, and will pick and choose the moments in which Dominik Mysterio is permitted to, step a little bit further up the card, whether that's in a feud with John Cena at the Survivor Series or whether it's a Royal Rumble run.
I think he'll be the runner-up.
Getting the Iron Man. Dominic Mysterio getting the quiet, they can't even book Iron Man very well now, but him getting the Dominic Mysterio version of that where he just keeps tipping people and he gets this work rate.
Do what they did in the Battle Royal. He's eliminated, but no one catches it.
This work rate champion bit that has resulted in his stablemates losing their belts, right, is rooted in a bit of truth, which is that he was defending the belt all the time. This little rat, hang on.
By himself.
Yeah, if me, a noted scumbag, is working hard, you should too. Him getting 7... just tipping them over the top rope eliminations in the Royal Rumble and turn up at the Clubhouse the next day. I was the runner-up. I eliminated 7. I was the Iron Man, and I'm a scumbag. They're getting everything right, and there is that frisson, that excitement around a star on the rise. There's nothing like it in wrestling for me.
Not that I want to get rid of this because I think we've loved it. And one of the few things we've actually liked about Rumbles over the last few years is the last 5-10 minutes, and particularly that last one-on-one showdown. But it would be really funny for it to be like 28 eliminated, 29 straight away eliminated, number 30's, the last one in there's won it. And Dom was like, I was the last one in now, and it's like you were in there for 1 second longer than the
29 others over the top row. It's if I'm the dead man, I'm worried I'm losing my top guy because Triple A aren't going to hold on to him for too much longer, I don't think.
Yeah. And then we got the tag team title match of the Judgment Day versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. Their second defense in 111 days. That's not good.
Unacceptable.
Disgusting business.
But Tess tried to defend this by saying, bloody cowards, aren't they? Right. Well, yeah, in character, yes, but come on, what are we doing? Styles, Styles tries to hit the ropes at one point, and Styles spills out to the floor because McDonough holds them open. That takes us to an early break. When we come back, in comes Dragon Lee, suplexes McDonough, gets crotched when he goes up top, but McDonough, after going after him, gets caught up there, hanging upside down, gets double stomped. Lee goes for a powerbomb on McDonough, but McDonough counters with a powerbomb of his own. Tags to Bálor and Styles. Bálor hits Styles with a sling blade, gets rid of Dragon Lee, but Styles comes back with a phenomenal forearm. Great last-second breakup by JD McDonough. Some people actually bought on that one at that point. Styles hits McDonough with a Pele kick, but McDonough brilliantly comes back with a Spanish fly for a near fall. There's a JD McDonough moonsault, foot stomp from Finn Balor. And I think this was the point where you could see JD McDonough trying to defend the pile, and Dragon Lee brilliantly dodges him to break it up the pinfall. Lee takes out JD with a dive. Styles blocks a Styles Clash from Balor, counters with one of his own, and gets the 1-2-3 new tag team champions.
Oh my God.
How long did this last?
13 minutes, 24 seconds.
Flew.
Yeah.
This at times quite literally flew. There was not an ounce of fat on this. It was dizzying in terms of the momentum being sort of, and almost like vibrated back and forth. It was so quick. It was like, it didn't feel like we are trying and at times straining to have this great match, and yet it was really densely packed with like the greatest hits of what a modern match looks like, I guess, with like near falls and what have you. This was like, I don't think it was a perfect match, but it was perfectly judged in terms of how long it went, how many near falls there were, that sense of like you inching closer to your TV screen, or you're bringing your phone closer to your face, as in my personal case of like, they're going to change the title belts. Yeah, they're going to change the title belts. The timing of, was it the JD McDonough save?
Yeah.
It's like, it's ridiculous. I've seen some great saves in my time of like the risk you have taken by waiting that long to get it to pretty much the exact millisecond. And that was right up there with them.
Because you know the ones when they cut the ref off and the people think it's a 3, and there's almost like this ripple of booze rather than
they got just below,
Yeah.
just below that, like the best worst second, if you like,
Yeah.
where it's almost too perfectly timed because it just scrambles people's brains. I've seen better tag team matches in this year, not many. I thought this was an excellent bit of business that was incredibly dramatic. Every second counted and every second felt unbelievably dramatic. Like, this is one of the best WWE TV matches of the year. Apollo 55, Finn Balor strikes again. This was tremendous.
It's weird because, like, we said the same thing about the last tag title change, and then they also had done nothing with it. It's not the team's fault, obviously, it's the booking.
the booking of the division has been dreadful again.
It was
again. Finn Balor for years at this point, like, has been one of the best tag wrestlers in WWE, maybe ever, like across JD McDonough, Damian Priest.
You like those
Dominik
2023 Judgment Day tags, didn't you?
Bloody loved them. I'd given up on Finn Balor forever. And those Raw main events, every single week, there was just a little bit of flavor, a little bit of difference there. The stylistic contrast that Finn Balor as the anchor of the Judgment Day tag matches was able to create, as I said, it was typically because you would have like a rotation of like 4 or 5 of the top baby faces. And it's like, yeah, but can those two manage it against them? And then they would. And it didn't matter which combination. It was mainly him and Priest. But like, he would do it with any of them. And he's done it again here. There's something about the way Balor as the heel glue, like the working heel style of Finn Balor in these tag teams, that just, I don't know, like it makes his opponent's offense fluorescent. Like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee do stuff that is eye-catching, but like,
who doesn't these days?
Our eyes are caught every single week.
Yeah.
Like it's just, there's something about the way that like he cuts off and he like makes space for his partner, in this case JD McDonough, somebody else that's like, you know, not the most exciting of wrestlers, but like has a lot of technical skill and will take some pretty horrendous bumps, like can contribute to these types of matches. Like he's a dark arts master, Finn Bálor at these. And yeah, like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee do moves that placed in the wrong match at the wrong time would leave you feeling pretty cold. And AJ Styles especially is a guy that like I find myself having to try to be kind to.
He's
AJ
had
Styles.
more cold matches than hot matches over the course of his WWE career.
And I just want to be nice to him rather than particularly earnestly praise the work. Here I've got to praise it. It was like a lot of AJ Styles of late feels like a guy that like wants to leave you with some memories. Like he's kind of, there's a positive to that ticking clock, isn't there? He's wanting to work now with this, like, if I just have this like stellar year, everybody's going to think the entire WWE run was this good. And it wasn't, but that's sort of how history works sometimes, and that's how people's minds work. And he's on a roll for that. Dragon Lee feels like there's been a couple of false starts for Dragon Lee in WWE. This is probably only going to be another one. Let's be straight about this. Like the tag team with AJ.
Number one contender for Dom's title as well.
Yeah. Like it's probably just going to be another false start, but it's yet another. If you can't have a false start without feeling like, right, here we go.
Yeah.
And he's captured that again as well. It was really so hot as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Like,
I was going to say this.
So hot in the building.
Really well worked. Surprise, surprise, considering the people obviously involved in it. And we liked both teams. We talked about this on the preview yesterday. I think we lent towards a title change, but we weren't really like that bothered either way. No. I was watching this and I can't tell you, there's probably one hand I can count the amount of times I've gone, oh, he's gone to fight AJ Styles, who's on the apron. He's knocked him back. That means he's in position for a phenomenal forearm. But I was into that and I was like, he's here! He's got it! And like you say, JD, that was the chance. Yeah.
Terrific, this was terrific.
And then, I just really liked that bit. I can't remember what, I think there was like a coup de grace or something. Finn hits something on Styles and you see JD doing the classic. And I thought they're going to do the bit where it's like, oh, you've been tackled into the pile or whatever. But the way he was like, whip, past him to break it, I thought it was brilliant as well. Really good stuff.
It feels real, doesn't it? Because you're dodging through traffic.
Yeah.
You're not just doing what every
really it's creativity in this match as well. Really terrific, this.
We go from there to the Usos. Jimmy asked Jey, am I supposed to acknowledge you now? Wasn't happy with what Jey said to him last week. Jey said, look, I wasn't mad at you, I'm mad at myself.
This is all ancient feeling to me.
Making the same mistake I made in Paris, probably had to be there. Jimmy reminds Jey that Roman Reigns isn't here tonight. He's not in the Battle Royal. He's not in line for the World Heavyweight Championship. But you know who is? Me, Big Jim. The reason Jey lost the World Heavyweight Championship is not because he was helping people, because he stopped believing in himself. Says you might be right.
Slime Uso.
You might be right. But Roman might be right as well. He says, look, you better figure this out. This is Jimmy. You better figure this out before the Battle Royal, because once we get in there, it's on for everybody, including you. But they're all good. Yeet. Shake hands. Jey tells Jimmy that he loves him.
I'm with Sidge. Like, I can't be a hypocrite here. Like, I can, like, moan and groan about, like, oh, Kenny Omega's with the Young Bucks again, is he? This is the same but different, you know? Like, this is the WWE equivalent of that. When you see the three of them in the ring and Roman's like, I don't want to see it till Christmas. That's like...
It's two of us, buddy.
That's like, yeah, well, right, this is still all interconnected, and we have this exact same complaint with Kenny and the Bucks, and it's just, I understand why you would lean on, like your creative bedrocks. These are the things that, like, define the characters the most, but I am, like, desperately needing... That's why I like the heel turn element of it from Jey Uso, because that feels like a bit of a more interesting step, a bit of a bolder move to take with the character, but all of the bits to get there, this stuff with Jimmy... Like, what next with Roman? I'm just not asking the questions anymore. I'm not, like, Roman, that week where Roman came back and it was really hot and he put the hand out and, like, they're doing, like, the high five sort of thing with Jimmy looking on in the background and feeling like this big compared to those two. That was probably the last point I actually felt it. Now I'm watching and being like, yep, like, well, I guess we have to
get to the point.
And we never will, because these people just like working together, and the people in charge of creative know that it's like an easy route to take. Well, you hire them together and people are happy enough. I'd like them to be bolder. Again, I really don't want to be a hypocrite, because I would and do say this about Kenny and the Bucks. You know, we've covered it a lot this year. Get away from each other. Like, be bold enough to try something else. And I'm not...
Can you make it go to your room? Stop fighting with the Young Bucks and go to your room.
I think I'm more lenient on this because of what happened later, but I can understand in the moment, I was a bit like, and we had this conversation like 5 times.
That it was horribly botched does nothing for the arguments against the pushes of Jey and Jimmy as well. Like that spot. That does nothing for the...
They are absolutely hopeless. Hopeless and ancient.
I'll tell you who isn't hopeless. Dominik Mysterio.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He was defending this week against Rusev for the IC title. No messing about. He's got the old game plan. Jumps Rusev before the bell. Chucks him into the ring steps. And he's like, bell rings. He's like, right, let's go. Oh, God, it's Rusev. And just takes his head off. He tries for a 619. Rusev hits him with a clothesline, and it's a fall-away slam to take us to a break. When we come back, Rusev wants a delayed vertical suplex, but Mysterio counters that, gets a 2 count, goes for the frog splash, but Rusev gets his knees up. Rusev sets up the accolade, stomps on Dom's back, and just scrabbles away. I've had enough. I'm taking both my titles again. He goes to leave. There's Penta, who's obviously seen all this before. He stops him in his tracks. Rusev's like, what the hell are you doing here? Throws Mysterio into Penta. In all the confusion, you just see, oh, bloody hell. Dominik Mysterio grabbing the ring bell hammer, and Rusev sends him back into the ring. Whilst I'm here, chins Penta. Gets back in. Dom drop kicks Rusev into the middle rope. It's going to be a copy-paste of what happened last week with the loaded boot, but Rusev blocks it, and he's like, oh, you got in your boot there. Pulls out the hammer, wants to use the referee's like, you can't do that. As he's getting rid of it all, Dom just goes, kick him in the dick, kicks him in the dick, hits a 619, retains, and after the match, Penta attacks Rusev with a DDT. Happy days for Dom.
I am needing the pivot to come sooner rather than later where Dominik Mysterio does this to either A, less significant baby faces, or B, heels. Because maybe this is like my personal biases here. I've just started to find my way back with Rusev, like as a personal enjoyment thing, and I love Penta, and I don't like seeing either of them as like Chuckle Brothers baby faces. You know, like this, you can do this, right? There's rule-proven exceptions. I'm not saying that there isn't precedent for this sort of thing working in the past, but you've got to be very careful the type of baby faces you pick to be involved in angles and segments and setups like this.
Rusev's doing jobs for fun at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, and like...
Where did that get from?
And like Penta...
You're joking.
Aleister Black getting beaten on SmackDown.
They're absolutely happy as a pig in doing jobs in the Fed. 2 absolute marks.
I thought you were just
in hell.
Push, I forgot about that, yeah.
Jesus Christ almighty.
Penta's like going down like the slide faster than the Undertaker in his back garden. Like there, you can't, I don't think you can. You know, you can do this stuff, but I wouldn't cast baby faces like Rusev and Penta in the roles that they're being cast in. Like, continue to elevate Dominik Mysterio the exact way you're doing it. Find other baby faces to do it with, because I think you've killed 2 pushes, or you're on the verge of killing 2 pushes here.
To P to Roo. Is that anything?
I don't even
know. Chuckle Brothers.
Oh, I see. Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
So Brian, you know what to do.
The initial of Penta.
I was like, I don't know, I got nothing me that rhymes with, like, apart from Miedo.
Yeah.
Like,
that was all right.
Okay.
You're doing good.
To Miedo to Roo.
Yeah, that works.
To Miedo to Roo. I tell you what, I reckon we are very good at the old analysis game, right? But I think the worst analysts out there, and my God, they were out there in force on Twitter last night.
It was
Jesus Christ.
I got back after watching Smashing Machine. I was like, let's have a look at... No, let's not.
Nah.
What was this over?
Raj Giri, right?
Hang on.
He didn't like the beginning of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's just this compartmental WWE. He's got a WWE brain. It didn't. It did.
I forgot to say in person, by the way. Excellent Simpsons tweet.
Thank you. Because he had a bee. He has bees in his bonnet. Does Geary about the AW and all the rest of it, and he was talking about how, like, the thing about Moxley is like, who did that impress? Some virgin losers, like the death match and all the rest of it. And it's like, chicks don't like him. Yeah, he looks like a homeless guy. You never see someone like Salma Hayek talking about how hot John Moxley is.
What's he talking about?
And yet everyone, and I mean everyone, thinks Roman Reigns is hot. And I'm like, dude. So I tweeted that. So there's this bit in The Simpsons where the lawyer character is talking about who likes Tom Cruise and da-da-da. Because why are you talking about this? I'm so confident of winning this case that I can waste the court's time by rating the super hunks. So Raj Giri last night on Twitter was rating the super hunks without any idea that there are people out there who want to like sit on Jon Moxley's face and bounce.
Yeah.
Like people fancy
you
this
can bury Jon
guy.
Moxley, you just do it correctly.
Yeah,
Like, there's
exactly,
things to pick on with Jon Moxley. Like,
So even the worst analysts in the game right now knew there was never going to be a chance of a title switch. And in fact, any chances of a title switch were going to be thwarted by Penta introducing himself into the scene. Like, this is the most painfully predictable wrestling segment TV I can remember in quite some time. Gets away with itself, if you like, because Dominik has got such charm. And
the inexorable rise of Dominik
yeah,
Mysterio.
yeah.
kind
It'll
of thing.
it'll all be great. But
You could have even acknowledged it in like, not that they would do it, but like if they did a pre-match interview, like you could be in deep waters here with Rusev, and he's like, "Oof, yeah, I hope if that happens, someone else might show up to get involved in it," because it has happened alternating weeks.
Yeah,
like
it's poor. This
Yeah.
ultimately it's poor, but Dom isn't, so it half works.
Penta and Rusev, we really want to get back to Dominik Mysterio, but we're so sick of each other, we're going to have to fight. That doesn't like magically put them back into contention when one wins the feud. Let's say Penta wins. It's not like, right, good, now I've dealt with that, back to the contention. No, you've been lowered way down in people's like opinions now.
Dom doubled down, eliminate both from the Battle Royal, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, see you later.
Funny.
It's the best. Love him.
I don't know, Penta and Rusev just like have these matches for a bit and they're fine. But then it's Penta, maybe we should just like team up and like still marooned on SmackDown. Ray Phoenix, like, are you joking?
You need to see the bit with Ray Phoenix from SmackDown. That was pretty class because once again it was Solo
Tomorrow night.
Once again, it's Solo Sikoa being the best.
Yeah,
because they're doing.
I don't mind spoilers. You can tell me.
They're doing just like a photo shoot. Just a classic, like, stand and do some poses, Ray Phoenix. Solo Sikoa turns and he's like, probably want to take pictures of me now, don't you? Piss off, Ray Phoenix. And he's like,
MFTs are all the way backstage.
Spitting all over myself.
They are all the way back.
I'm assuming they're not.
You got to see Jeff Cobb.
I was going to say which.
You got to see Jeff Cobb in the.
I see that. He looks like a goddamn asshole.
His face is squarer than mine. I was saying, DJ with Marshmallow. It's perfectly square.
I saw the pictures. Like, you look like a dickhead.
Class, man. And then Nicholas chilled me to my bones with a very correct take. Why would you put all those people up against each other? That's probably going to be the men's war games, isn't it? Like the Wyatts and the MFTs. It's out the main event scene now, and we're thinking, great, one war games, and then no, two, and one of them's abysmal.
I think Cobb could have good 2 minutes in there.
I think their little mini.
If you allow him to be Jeff Cobb. What's he called now? JC Mateo.
The Wyatt's mini cage should have nobody in it, and then lights off, and then oh my god, one of them's in there. How did he get like? And
just
then,
to walk out of the.
Yeah, just to walk out the cage.
Yeah, complete waste of time.
Magic powers himself into the cage.
Yeah,
everything's a waste of time. Sidge. They could use magic powers all the time, but instead they use a numbers game.
I know
for mind games.
But we might get Eric Rowan and JC Mateo for a bit, so I suppose that's nice.
That's fine. Yeah.
Out of 25 minutes or whatever it is going to be.
Solo Sikoa running in fear.
See, that's why. This is why deep down the Fed's always bad. If they're going to run
wins.
this. Like, now that you've put that in my head, Wilbourn, I'm going to be disappointed that you don't get this absolutely unbelievable sequence between them two. Surely that needs to happen at some point.
It will.
But a Redbeard and Dub.
Loved it.
It was great.
Now there was a tailgate you needed to watch. If Redbeard was kicking around, you tuned in early.
Well, the frat house are on the tailgate, so that's not. No, is it frat house? Yeah, it was frat house.
Yeah, they were TBA.
TBA. Tits. I don't know. I was trying, boobs and ass. Tits and boobs are the same thing. Tits, boobs, and ass. That's what the frat house like.
To double down, just to make sure
Yeah,
you're aware.
trying to think.
And that's why Eddie Kingston bloody furious with him. Yeah, he's screwing around too much.
Yeah.
Good screwing around.
So following this IC title defense, we got another one.
Tits, butts, and esophagus.
I'll begin with O.
What?
Wouldn't that be TBO? Esophagus.
No, because it begins with an. Is it?
I think so. I don't know.
I think it does actually.
Oh, we saw
TBO.
Max Griffin and Nate Diaz
Yeah,
from the
it's
UFC in the crowd as well.
You are?
It's an Osage.
I know. I'm just using it as an excuse to check about my correspondence.
The Frot House.
All right, I'll just cut you out there.
The Grot
Off you go,
House.
Will.
The Grot House.
Max Griffin, Nate Diaz in the crowd. That was nice to see Nate Diaz. And then we got the women's IC title match. That being Becky Lynch versus Kurt Angle. Sorry, Maxxine Dupri. Huge pop for her because they were in Sacramento, of course, which was nice. I didn't even put those together before.
No,
we were
I
previewing
consider
this. But Becky Lynch.
Yep, it's a no. It is a no, Nicholas. I just wanted to verify.
Nah, it's okay, mate. Don't worry about it.
Well,
we landed on the Grot House because we went from Frot House to Grot House.
All right, okay, that's good.
How the
I mean,
stuff worked.
Yep.
Everything's something.
Becky Lynch was not in a good mood, obviously, so she just battered Maxxine early on here. Forearm, shoulders, just stamping in
Tits,
the corner.
butts, and a lovely bit of, and then you can insert any synonym you like for vag.
Yeah.
That's what they're into, though.
The Frot House, yep.
Tits, beers, ass, because that's what it's all about in the frat house.
Yeah.
A lovely bit of vag.
Maxxine Dupri's dumped to the floor as we go to an early break. When we come back, Dupri struggles to get back in the ring, but when she does, she catches Becky with a cradle, counters the manhandle slam with a jawbreaker, hits some flying clotheslines, and a leg drop for a near fall. I thought she was about to worm out. She pulled down the strap, but she hit a running knee for a near fall. They exchange punches. Becky Lynch obviously gets the advantage.
Too serious to be worming out in a match like this.
Yeah. Dupri gets out the manhandle slam, hits a kick, and then gets an ankle lock. Lynch kicks out of it, goes for an armbar, and then Maxxine Dupri just transitions out of an armbar into an ankle lock.
Oh my God.
Amazing. She comes off the top with a crossbody for 2. Becky rolls to the floor. She wants to leave with her belt this time, but Maxxine sends her back in, hits a sunset flip for a 2 count. Can't believe she's almost got it won there. And Becky, in desperation, just nails Maxxine with the title. DQ, another win for Maxxine Dupri over Becky Lynch. Post-match, she beats her down, though. She sends her into the ring post, stomps on her head, and hits a running knee strike and a manhandle slam.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved it even more than the first one. Don't be fooled, gang, by the finish or the 50-50 nature of the post-match beatdown, which historically is like, oh, there you go, you get your heat back, all that kind of stuff. The ambition, I thought, to lay out this match the way they did puts it like streets ahead of the first one, or any like those other flashes where Maxxine Dupri's had like a really good night. You know, the old Ocean Cyclone Suplex era.
Yeah.
You know, like the ambition here, like it required Maxxine Dupri to go for as long as she did, so that you could buy Becky Lynch's desperate. Yeah, Becky Lynch is a like unbelievable pro wrestler, so she can try and sell you on it, but you want to buy it rather than being sold.
Becky Hogan, yeah.
Indeed. Like, you completely bought Becky's desperation without her needing to oversell it, then subsequently understood her embarrassed frustration and being just a total bastard in the aftermath. Like, and this, like, just all the flowers for Maxxine Dupri for, like, hanging in there. And, you know, I've never taken a bump in my life, never got in a ring, but, like, even if it was just following instructions, it's not easy, otherwise anyone could do it. You know, there are great carry merchants, of which Becky Lynch has become one, but not everybody can be carried. Like, so you can't, well, I don't believe you can just singularly say, oh, well done, Becky Lynch, good job. You've done it again.
Yeah,
You carried Maxxine Dupri. Maxxine Dupri was there for all of it.
She can't put herself in an ankle lock.
No, if this was rehearsed ahead of time, great, because like look how well it like played out in front of the crowd, and we've seen rehearsed matches fall apart on NXT all the time. Like,
Well done to Chad Gable for training her.
yep, that as well. Like, like a towering achievement. I was so impressed by this.
Wrestling as selectively real as your worst gimmick, Wilbourn. It really, truly is insufferable. I really had a good time with this.
Take a number. Huh?
I really had a good time with this. I love this genre because, as we've said for too long, but it always bears repeating because they make me repeat it every single week. The concept of skill in professional wrestling is utterly out of control. It drives narratives, it drives personas, it is prioritized in matches over who wins or loses. This idea of skill, the best, I'm great, this match is going to be a banger, boring.
Bobby Heenan used to say winning on points as a heel thing. Now
Yeah.
it's like, legit, well, they won on points.
Yeah.
Like,
And like now it's like you can't, it's too skilled. Wrestling fundamentally in terms of the actual level of the wrestlers involved, not very few of whom stand out, and the purpose of what they're doing, it's all defined and almost ruined now by skill. I love matches where someone's not skilled, and that the real skill is their opponent going, right, we'll drag something out of you, and you just like need to be here and keep up. Like, I'm in the process of finishing the first draft of 10 best wrestling Wrestling matches of 2025, and number 10 with a bullet is FTR Outrunners from Collision.
Mm-hmm.
Glorious. It's in that same genre, if you like. Not as good, but I've got so much time for the magic of believing in someone who kind of needs your belief to hang in there. Love it. Well, in this case, really liked it.
And like it is,
I think Becky's going to win with her feet on the ropes.
it's a good bit that she's building a streak, isn't it? Yeah, like that's a nice bit. They've kind of
She's going to celebrate and they're like, oh God, here comes AJ Lee.
Yeah.
And actually,
Yeah.
Really like this. Then we got a recap of the tour of Australia and Japan to show us Rhea Bloody Ripley's broken bloody nose. And then a great promo from the Kabuki Warriors talking about how Rhea got exactly what she wanted. Asuka again, just a little, well done. Well done, Kairi. You finally showed me something. They're going after the tag titles. Great.
Yeah. Less was more for Asuka this week for me.
Yeah.
Well, like they were in it, like they were inadvertently looking like they were going to ruin all the hard work they'd done by just having 6 segments of it. And I got all I wanted this week.
Yeah, no, she remains like this would have been wrestle crap tier, and a lot of it was all of this, but Asuka's sheer force of personality is really elevated.
It's happening as well, isn't it?
She popped at her own fan.
Yeah.
Hey, seen this?
Like
And Kairi's like, I've got an umbrella.
it's like I was hoping for last week. This does feel like it's just going to end up being this whole, like, in spite of some pretty cringeworthy segments, like good booking all the way around, because it does feel like this is Asuka and Kairi pulling away from it now, and you can, you're invited to forget they've just actually lost the big match that really matters because they've become their own story with each other, and they're going to want the tag belts, so you can lift them completely away from Io Sky
Charlotte
and Rhea
Alexa
Ripley.
versus the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, fine. Like, I want to watch that.
Yeah. See that, and then eventually, obviously,
Everything Charlotte does just looks crap these days, though.
oh no! I'm not having that because I guarantee if we show you what happened on SmackDown, you'd love it. Because at one point, I can't remember who.
I was going to say, which bit you on about here, Wilbourn? Because I'd say there's one bit in particular which feeds completely into this. To the point that maybe it's the most perfect physical manifestation of everything Michael Sidgwick just said.
But remember the bit where I think Zari's in there and she does the I think it was the cartwheel clothesline.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
Zari's in the corner. Obviously, I mean, both teams are baby faces, but Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, we're friends now. We've developed this. It's just she comes back in. Zaria, a clothesline. Solrika's just in the corner watching her friend get attacked. Turns around, suck it!
Just out of nowhere, just a wild suck it. But there was also a spot, when there's a glitch,
Like that?
there's a glitch in a game where like a character just like sort of
Yeah,
runs
it's
on the
all
spot
bad.
and they can't stop themselves. It's just to get into the position. Solrika has to kick her into the corner, and then Charlotte Flair has to like bounce and sell just so Solrika can get back to
She
her feet.
would do this. Subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on a podcast channel on YouTube.
You're so spot on.
Right. All she's got to do is stand there so that Solrika can recover and hit the Sol Snap.
Yeah, that's all she has to do.
A moment of shock.
Loads of
Right?
trainees can do it on NXT.
She's just like, she runs through treacle for like a minute and a half. And this is her getting kicked out, one fluid motion. Gada. Austin Powers. Oh no, the turnbuckle. Well, too late for me to save myself. Gadoosh. And then just like Mortal Kombat for a couple of minutes. Like,
Oh, Soul Snatch.
that time when I remember you said, like, you were doing like a Charlotte Flair bump tracker because she'd become like a lucha wrestler.
Yeah,
Like,
she's just
I'm a
doing
forward
the-
roll guy now.
Yeah, not wanting it of anything. So working smarter, not harder.
Funny wrestler
Get
to
on my
watch.
level.
Really funny
That's
wrestler to
just,
watch.
I'm glad she exists. Not many people I can say that about.
Charlotte
Charlotte Flair's
Flair
one of them.
This is the bit that we've already sort of spoken about with Paul Heyman outside of Postman Pierce's office.
Breeze right by it.
Yeah. He's taken the 2 Bronnies out of the Battle Royal. And Heyman's like, please put them back in. Oh, he says, why have you done that? Put them back in. He says, why don't you say please, huh? And he does, and he still says no.
I could see them smashing Jey Uso and CM Punk for a no finish. Like,
I think,
two Bronnies come out there and batter them, and that's like the
Bron Breakker should destroy Adam Pearce.
Yeah,
If they want to delay it.
yeah.
And we finally get the Adam Pearce Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
What was that, like 4 years, 5 years in the making?
Yeah, it was like, should we have just put the graphic out there for 7 days? It's going to be Adam Pearce versus Roman Reigns. Like, that was like the Fed.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Oh, this will look weird for a bit.
People were like, oh, you've taken it away.
Yeah, like there was a point where like, well, it's something to look at.
It's something to look at.
Some wrestling fans do just, it doesn't matter who it is. Someone's like, wait a second, they've taken their tie off. You're going to see the real version of me. Yeah, very good. That's what they want to see. Triple H did that once, didn't he, I think?
From an NWA World Champion and supposed like horrendous Jim Cornette bootlick Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
Getting back in there.
Then we got Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez. Early on, Roxanne Perez thought it was a good idea to slap Stephanie Vaquer, who immediately beat her up and went for the devil's kiss, but Perez kicks her off and behind the referee's back gets nailed by Raquel Rodriguez. That takes us to a break. When we come back, Vaquer's dominating. Suplex, Meteora in the corner, that awesome dragon screw leg whip. She gets the devil's kiss, but she's selling her arm or her wrist. That's bothering her. So Perez obviously targets that. I think she hits like a lung blower, but basically on the arm. That gets her out, and she gets out of the SVB. I really like that cartwheel knees to the back of the head that Roxanne does.
It's incredible. It's that more special.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Raquel's running in distraction, though. That allows Perez to snap Vaquer's arm against the ropes. She tries the double jump moonsault thing that she does, Roxanne, but she gets knocked to the outside onto Raquel, and Vaquer does a big dive onto everybody. Gets back in there, hits the Angel's wings for the 1-2-3, but they double team her post-match. As you called, Nikki Bella runs down to make the save. Raquel hits a big boot. Vaquer is meant to fly in and take her out and just slips on the top rope. But Bella and Vaquer stand tall.
Well, like Stephanie Vaquer limped tall, didn't she? I was really worried. She fell on her ass, and then when she got back up, she didn't seem to be able to put any weight on that one leg. So hopefully she's all right.
Yeah.
Botches happen, but it was awkward after the fact, so hopefully everything's fine there. Yeah, the Nikki Bella thing I like the thing with her and Stephanie Vaquer. Like they are so diametrically opposed in so many ways that it's something I enjoy, like as partners, and then eventually as Nikki Bella will turn heel. And,
Yeah, I was watching it, I was like, I think she might turn later on when she was like, me and you kind of, obviously I'll watch you back, and I was like, you're gonna jump her now?
Like, not a bad program that. I want to watch that.
Nikki Bella's best chance of a really good match to say goodbye on.
Say goodbye. Yeah.
You winning? There's absolutely no way, Vaquer.
Perfect.
Anything?
You put that on the pay-per-view video package.
And you get No Way Jose as part of the entrance.
No way. Vaquer.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss him.
I don't. What could he possibly bring to the table?
Do you remember this match?
A conga.
Yeah. As D'Lo called it in TNA at that time. Oh, it's a Congo line. Right. Wrong word, D'Lo. It's a country mate. I love D'Lo Brown. Re-record it. It's TNA. Nobody's watching.
Or just keep it in because no one's watching.
Good point. Good point. Maybe just don't make the show.
Yeah.
Just go out of business once in stupid live TNA. Like
NXT preview later.
Do you remember I was watching it. I was enjoying it kind of, this. I love these two. Two of my favourite wrestlers in WWE. I don't think I like them working when they haven't got a storyline. Do you remember they had a match in NXT?
This was like a no good can come from this.
It's a bit of a skills off, this one. To your point earlier on. Do you remember the match they had in NXT where it was the same again, where it was just like, they're both really great wrestlers, but like, what am I supposed to take from this? It was too hard to like establish it. Other than Raquel's interference, it was too hard to establish like a heel and a baby face because it was a competition of who does the best moves. And there's a time and a place for that, and it wasn't here. Like, Stephanie Vaquer is this massively over babyface. Roxanne Perez isn't as over as a heel, but she's in like the big heel unit on Raw, and it's been a really good year for her. I don't think this was the right time to book this match.
There's no good can come from this.
Didn't illustrate what's made them so great in their own ways. Yeah, do you remember the NXT one where
I don't remember it at all.
Well, you might remember this one spot.
I try and suppress it, actively try and suppress this sort of stuff.
Same thing, same dynamic, babyface and heel, but they're having the skills off.
I'll take your word for it.
And then Stephanie Vaquer does the devil's kiss, and Roxanne Perez gets it wrong. And she's going like, get on your knees! You can hear Stephanie Vaquer screaming because like I think Roxanne's selling it flat.
Oh.
What would you say if Stephanie Vaquer told you to get on your knees? You just say boner.
You know the bit in Superbad. I got a boner. It's me.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you were making
No,
a point.
it's completely irrelevant now, isn't it? Forget it. Just forget it. It was a match.
Yeah.
Not the right night to put these two again.
Shouldn't have done it. Weren't even that good.
Wasn't hot. Like, the crowd were like, whatever. Like, there's a night for this. There's like, genuinely, to me, with a good storyline, there's a WrestleMania for this match. Like, with a proper, really well-defined rivalry, this is the sort of thing you'd look on a graphic and you think, yes, I want to see that. This is not how you present these two, I don't think.
Nah. I did get excited by what happened next, though, because Lyra Valkyria is chatting with Adam Pearce. In comes Bayley! Hey! We won last week. Remember that? I really enjoyed it. It's Lyra Valkyria's birthday soon, and she's got a surprise in store. And Lyra's like, what is it? It's going to spoil the surprise. You'll have to wait and see next week.
Oh my
I
God.
can't wait for Raw already.
Same. It's like ginormous box. Why is my head the cake? I was like, what's happening? Can't wait.
It's fun and great preview.
I'm over it.
It still doesn't.
But I will enjoy the preview.
It continues to always, even when it's trying to make sense, fail. Because, again, we are in the Lyra Valkyria cinematic universe as somebody that like actively turns up at NXT every week and is like, I'm glad you're crazy, if anything, Tim. It's what makes you who you are. And then Bayley does it. It's like, what's going on?
I mean, sort of doing,
She can't. There's
she's
no
doing well. Who's number one contender?
It was me suggesting that there's no consistency over a 40-hour period, but you have again proved me wrong.
W
with
for Bayley,
with facts and
W for
stats.
Tatum Paxley.
Yep, you're so right.
Like,
You're just tracking the wins and losses.
she's going
I
to
should
write a
do.
card next week that's like, to Lyra, happy birthday. I hate you. I wish you'd die.
Have a lovely
Lots
day.
of love, Bayley.
Yeah. We're going to save it for the preview, bro.
A lovely pop-up card, but it's a boxing glove.
Is it tomorrow you're off?
Yeah.
I'll watch this with him.
Oh, I'll give him my thoughts on Thursday. It's fine.
I don't care about that.
Should we try and
sorry.
squeeze in the Dynamite preview today, just to make sure we can...
Good call.
I'll have enough enthusiasm for the both of us. By which I mean I'll have 100% enthusiasm and I'll have 0.
That's true.
I'm actually looking forward to Dynamite this week.
Yes.
There's why are you booking that now match? And a match that A is going to be great, but B has an actual story attached to it.
And there's the Okada one.
He's such a complete asshole.
We go to the Vision's locker room. Heyman basically reassures them.
Their entire span of their careers, respectively, Jey Uso, Kazuchika Okada.
Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that New Japan run was something beyond special. Thank you.
2020 onwards, it's not even close.
Yeah. Shut up. I mean,
I
no, for you.
Yeah.
I could watch literally one Okada match
Yeah.
from that period. Go, that's 10 times, a million times better than Jey Uso's top 50.
But if we're doing
But
Yeet
for
versus
you,
Bitch,
but
it's
for
a
you,
squash.
Yeah.
Yeah, bitch is funnier. Bitch is funnier.
No.
Bitch is funnier.
So swearing's funny, is it? Swearing's cool.
Yeah. Okay, don't swear anymore if you don't think it's cool.
Easy.
Is it? Because how many times has he done it this year?
A lot less than you.
Yeah, but still loads though.
Yeah.
You want to take a guess? How many
Well,
times?
Hamflett's
How many times has he sworn this year?
Well, about I reckon he's on about 1,080 now.
Grand and a half.
11111.
Ah! I'll just, yeah.
No, I've said too many ones there. 1,111.
So I'm the ones.
You are.
Which again is like bloodline, isn't it? That's Jey, so.
Sidge, take a guess at yours.
It's 1,804.
Pretty close. 1,740.
I mean, I do it more, but you still think it's cool.
That's
You're just
you.
not as cool as me.
That's Yeet versus Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, Okada. Yeah, New Japan run. That wins, obviously.
Thank you.
2020 onwards. When did I stop caring about Okada? When did he...
When the crowds went away, pretty much.
Yeah, at the beginning of the clap crowds.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and that was when...
It's not your fault necessarily.
When there was literally no fans in the building.
It's
That was
not
when
your
Jey
fault
Uso
at
really
all.
found himself. So,
Yeah, this is the bit with Paul Heyman talking about Brock and CM Punk and Roman, etc., and reassuring.
bored of him. So bored of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, he sucks, man.
So bored.
Well, let's get to the main event of the evening. Is the Battle Royal to see who faces CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. The lineup was L.A. Polite.
Yes. Oh, no.
Jimmy and Jey Uso, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, Sheamus, Penta, Rusev, Ivar, Grayson Bloody Waller, Kofi Kingston, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Akira Tozawa, Otis, and El Grande Americano. And CM Punk on commentary, having a lot of fun with all this.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like this big time, Christ almighty, I need to scout these opponents. This is a huge match. I thought, honestly, he calls himself the best in the world in this ring, on this microphone, even at commentary. I thought he trivialized it a little bit with his witty asides.
I agree, actually. This reminded me of him in 2010, 2011, when the product was there to be trivialized. Like, he would do it to just show that he was kind of above it all, and he thought it was just a big piss take.
And he had to play to the smart marks.
Yeah, like he was there with his Colt Cabana t-shirt, castigating John Cena for drinking his diet soda. like then there wasn't a product that people loved. This is one full of stars, so you should probably take some of it seriously.
2 exceptions. Number 1, saying, I'm willing to face anyone but Dirty Dom. Quite like that as a line. And I also liked him still persisting with, LA Knight's a dickhead, isn't he? Like, there's a bit where he put a...
he looked like an asshole doing
crab
this
on.
move.
Yeah.
Since CM Punk went, oh yeah, putting a submission hold in the Battle Royal, that's a good idea. And then within seconds, it was revealed in the story they were telling to be a terrible idea because he got super kicked in the face.
Yeah.
He looked like an idiot, LA Knight, in this match.
Punk
I
used to
think,
do that
Punk
too.
said,
Idiot.
I think Punk said, I think I want to face LA Knight because he's so dumb. Or something along those lines.
He used to like bury.
Yeah, talking about like tingling loins and Dirty Dom being called Dirty Dom for not washing his gear.
I didn't know this, right? But I actually learned something during this Battle Royal.
Go on.
CM Punk is married in real life to AJ Lee and they have regular, and it sounds like satisfying sexual intercourse.
Yep.
God, he's such like this wife guy. Like, I look out for the women. God, honestly, he makes us sick sometimes, CM Punk.
Do you remember the...
God, I get it, you're a nice guy. Actually, no, you're not, because of the incidents.
He would bury Kevin Steen 6 foot deep, wouldn't he, when he would commentate in Ring of Honor out of shoot hatred. Complete lack of respect.
I just thought you didn't take this seriously at all. And who is CM Punk anymore? I was asking myself this question during this commentary performance. The match was pretty crap, to be honest. This, like, people making stupid decisions, mistimed. The action wasn't good enough elsewhere where I could not focus on those moments gone awry. Who is CM Punk now?
Best in the world.
Yeah, he's the biggest star in wrestling because he can switch it on like a light switch, and it'd be foolish to release him under any circumstances.
Cody Rhodes, under any circumstances, bro. You. Like, seriously, off.
I don't know. I read a great...
Yeah, a lot of good times though, but come on.
I read a great article that made a compelling case that they should have kept with CM Punk.
Didn't do that, though.
That's what I took from it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We could take different things, different needs. I told him
It's open to interpretation.
I told Sidgwick over the desks.
I reached an entirely different point.
It went too far.
I told Sidgwick over the desks. I was like...
About 5 million times over.
I enjoyed reading it so much, right? Sidgwick is the best wrestling writer on the internet. You know, he
thank
comes
you.
across like this piece of... He's not. He's the best in the business, right? Like, I was reading it and I was enjoying it so much. And I was enjoying it too. I like recaps of like famous wrestling stuff in general, well written and like well documented. And honestly, like, I don't know, like, let's say chapter point CM Punk gets injured. It was like reading like a recap of like me and Adele like first getting together. It was like, here it comes. Here it goes. It's like something goes on with John Moxley and things are real bad. Brawl out! And then it's just like collision and he's back in the Fed. It's like he's recapping when everything just went gold. Like
Tits up!
the business came back. Like this wonderful, eloquent documentation of it. It's just like, yes!
Like I've seen loads of those reels recently where it's the bloke from How I Met Your Mother going, wait for it, here it comes, and it's him reading, going, good debut and stuff on Rampage, blah, 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 blah. Get to the, come on, there we go.
How I Met Your Mother, but it's How I Broke Your Company.
Yeah.
Kids, I was kind of bored of pro wrestling, but in 2021, some mark billionaire offered me a ton of money and some free ice cream bars to give it another go.
Is there any parallels between Ted Mosby and CM Punk?
Quite a lot.
Yeah, we love women and we respect them at the same time, us two.
Quite a
Oh,
lot.
God, there's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like loads of little bits of law, like gear law, the yellow umbrella, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hateful figures.
Yeah.
Main character syndrome to the point of being just detestable. But like kind of still the biggest star in their own universe. Yeah, Phil Mosby. How I Killed Your Company.
How I Killed CM Punk's character.
But yeah, like next week he could just turn it on against Jey Uso. And it's like,
He won't though. His mind's softened. He hasn't done that many good things this year when you really take stock of it all. Stock take CM Punk's 2025. He's actually a bit rubbish.
Won the world title, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, but he didn't win it for very long, so he's pretty poor.
Still counts as a win.
Well, John Moxley held it for way longer, so ipso facto, he is better.
Which?
That was very interesting. Like
the world title, the AW world title.
I'm talking about the titles that actually matter, mate. Come
Sidge, that was like the punk line, isn't it? I must become the monsters of the world to fight the monsters of the world. That was you doing it. Well, he didn't hold it for very long, Wilbourn. That was like you were both in the kayfabe argument. Like, only a minutes, then the genius Seth Rollins plan unfolded.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is better. Gunther's better.
He's fighting the monster of the world, Wilbourn. You want to be a monster?
Currently,
down in the muck with
Abeyance is a better professional wrestler than CM Punk.
Who's he?
That's what that title's held in right now. Seth Rollins is better. Gunther's better. Jey Uso's better twice. He's twice as good if you think about it.
Have you tasted your own medicine and it is bitter?
I don't like it. So Otis and Rusev start us out.
John Cena's better.
Different title.
Better title, though.
Oh, yeah, probably. Guess he'll have to go after that one at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
It works out.
Let's see if his body holds out.
Otis and Rusev start us off.
Always a risk with these dumb spots that WWE happen in WWE matches where the wrestlers get injured in the back of it, isn't it? It's always a risk with these spotty amateurs doing their stupid ideas to try and pop the audience. Isn't it about telling stories? And
The fact the only thing that he's ever done that pops you, injured straight away.
I know.
He's done something cool, huh?
Yeah.
That's
the end. That's the end of that chapter.
Rusev, low bridges.
Oh, I got to put me on. Separate the shoulder, put it.
Yeah, I love it.
Sam and Rollins, just like, well, see how this turns out, shall we? Bait.
Otis gets low bridged out by Rusev, and then Tozawa tries to fight him. He gets chucked out as well. Dragon Lee tries to springboard, but Judgment Day get him out. It's a bit of payback from earlier. This is the bit where it was Penta and Rusev fighting on the apron, and Dom was like, jackpot, push them both off. There's a Sheamus and Ivar confrontation. They hit each other really hard. But Sheamus gives...
Yeah, Hamflett loved that.
Yeah. Sheamus gives Ivar a white noise on the apron to eliminate him.
Did you notice CM Punk question what they were doing on the ramp, on the apron? Like, why are you doing that on the apron?
Yeah.
It was the white noise he gave Ivar. I know that was
yeah.
like the best spot of the match, and CM Punk was a bitch and had a problem with it.
So just trying to respect actually the rules of a battle royal, isn't it? It's like when Gorilla Monsoon would say, like, you're stupid to go up to the top rope. Like that old school mentality, eh?
Yeah, CM Punk famously tests 70s territory wrestler that he is in his own head for some reason.
Thing is, what will probably happen is that Sheamus will go backstage and he'll like listen to that advice, veteran advice.
Sheamus is like 50, bro.
He'll be straight on Instagram. Look at my real bruises. It's work.
You see Ace Steel on Instagram?
No?
Yeah.
He's still at large.
Well, he's back. John Moxley was compared to Holly Race by Tony Khan. No! Ace Steel was like, that's a fucking insult to the memory of her. I've never read anything as stupid in my goddamn life. He was apoplectic. So it's like, all right, there's something going there. Get into this. Come on. That's a volcano I want to see
erupt.
erupt.
Have energy for your friend. He's getting all fired up again.
Can I get a job here?
Yeah. It's like, this is just history of that, isn't it?
It drives us absolutely nuts, this. That there are people who I'll fight, I'll do everything. I'll torch this entire company, AEW, if my mate can't get a job here or keep his job here. Are they in the Fed? Nah. Not here. Not here, Ace. Not here. I'm not allowed to do it here.
You don't mess with perfection, do you?
No, you know where your bread's buttered.
And it's always
Tony
buttered
Khan
in the
will,
face.
he'll never have the constitution to instill this mentality.
CM Punk knows where his Fed's buttered.
Yeah. But
So I
Tony
didn't
Khan,
get Colt Cabana a job that first time as well when they were still mates. Like
Tony Khan will never be able to have that thing of, no, you will not do that. You'll behave, asshole. Funny company.
he will, but it's like
No, he won't.
I think he will, but it's like
He's 40 years old or something.
yeah, but like they were still in the era of wrestlers being the same age or of the same era. It's like, how Vince McMahon hated wrestlers being junior because he just hated the wrestlers that used to call him junior or Vinny.
Aye.
Tony Khan's still in his junior period because like they've met Shard or they're like whatever.
It's his
It's
his constitution,
the
mate.
baby born today that becomes like a 21-year-old prodigy with a 61-year-old Tony Khan. So he's going to be like he's going to be holding him in reverence, and Tony Khan's not going to step aside. So it's going to be like, all right, yeah, he's the kind of like.
So you're saying Tony Khan has got a hard ass era in him?
Yeah, but with decades away. Decades away.
Okay.
There'll be people that meet him.
meme
and-
just dropped.
I can't believe it.
Like,
Can you imagine it, though?
Based on what evidence?
just that, like, there will be people that are just like, right, Blake Monroe, I said this on SmackDown Review yesterday, wanted to sign for WWE because she loved it in the 2010s.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
It's insane, isn't
She
it?
might have
Like,
seen her recently, didn't she?
yeah, like, it's insane that she loved it as much as she did. But people do. They're out there. Colton, our OG,
Yeah.
like, has told us before, yeah, that's how I found wrestling, you know? That somehow that everything reaches everybody. Like, they'll just see Tony Khan as this, like, person to be intimidated by because he's the great AEW leader.
they'll
And
meet him.
he's had the company.
Then they'll meet him.
He's ran the company for, like, all the, you know, the ones that
What are we doing here?
all the ones that can just do what they want around there, like the Hurt Syndicate, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, they're all gone. They're all gone by then. And then it's just like he just holds domain over all of these wrestlers who have only ever known Boss Tony, and he's getting a bit older and a bit crankier, and like maybe busier. His dad might have passed by then. He's taking on more of the businesses and stuff
Getting
like
dark, mate.
that. No, I'm just saying.
Can we go back to the Battle Royal?
Yeah.
Question.
El Grande Americanos.
As I've said to you, Sidge, for a long time now, you've just got to sit patiently for 20 years and your product will get good again. It turns out fine in the end.
Question: is 61-year-old Tony Khan sitting on a boat still doing those little videos of himself?
Oh, God, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's going to strike fear into the hearts of every wrestler on planet Earth, right?
It's not a personality thing. It's strictly just an inbuilt respect thing at this point.
Hi.
Thanks, guys.
What a fall off from like when he was literally flexing about being the only Khan with a relationship with New Japan.
So back to the Battle Royal.
Sorry.
El Grande Americano
It was
loads up.
rubbish.
I just want what's best for AEW.
It was terrible.
Who cares? El Grande Americano loads up the mask. The Usos chin him, hurt the hands, but then just give him a 1D and chuck him out.
This match was turd. It was, wasn't it?
It was a bit turd like.
Sheamus,
What up, turds? The Battle Royal.
Sheamus tried to eliminate Dirty Dom, but Bálor and McDonaugh save him. So Sheamus eliminates them instead. And then Kofi Kingston eliminates... Oh, sorry, they
What
get
up,
involved.
turds is really funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was Nick Wayne's ring, wasn't it, in the garage? What up, turds? Then he bludgeoned them. Like one of the cruelest beatdowns they've ever filmed.
Good stuff. They got involved and helped Kofi eliminate Sheamus. So they start brawling, McDonough, Bálor, and Sheamus. And I was a bit like, because Styles chucks out Dom, and I was like, that's a bit of an anticlimactic elimination. And then myself and Dirty Dom go, no one's seen that. Just gets back in. I think that takes us to a break. So when we come back...
He did the double bicep pose before he got back in.
yeah.
And then got back in the ring, big smile on his face.
Love a dream been caught just then. What are you doing out here? Nothing. I went under the middle ropes, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, Dirty Dom, Usos, L.A. Polite,
Yeah.
Kofi, and AJ Styles. Kingston monkey flips Styles across the ring. Styles forearms Kofi Kingston to get rid of him. Knight hits that excellent top rope elbow that he does to Jimmy
Has
Uso.
anyone, sorry, because this match is so boring, I don't really care about it. Has anyone taken a monkey flip bump and then hit someone with a destroyer at the same in one motion? Should do that.
Yeah. It feels young Bucksy in that, doesn't it? It feels like against the Lucha Brothers especially, that would have been like a nice fit for it.
Yeah.
Sort of great clip of Matt Stryker taking some like mad monkey flips and stuff at WrestleMania from years ago, doing the rounds on X. Like,
He used to love that bump. He did it. Was it the Mania?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
ECW
The
one. Where he
ECW
did,
Legends one, yeah.
he did a back body drop where he just like suspended himself upside down in midair and just didn't tuck until the very last second.
yeah.
And I was like, you're an idiot. That was beast though.
Have you seen that clip? I think it's a recent.
He's one of the worst guys, Matt Stryker.
Yeah.
I did like the tights that had his face on his arse, that his arse would swallow his face.
Yeah.
I saw the clip of Styles on Chris Van Vliet talking about the, the spot in the Ultimate X match where he gets like drop kicked and
Yeah, he
flips.
like tucks himself to...
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Halfway through that move, he was like, I'm not going to be able to rotate enough here. This is the bit right. And then he did it and he was like, I'm all right. Let's never do that again.
And, it was in every TNA video package for like decades. It's one of those cases where you've got to save it for the right night or whatever. They maximise that for his benefit. It was like probably worth it in hindsight.
Probably pay him more then.
No, they're not going to do that. They're going to pay him less, if anything. They're going to give him a pay cut.
Yeah, imagine that. Thanks for having AJ. How about less money? Huh? Where are you going?
Huh?
We've got EC3, so probably don't need you.
Nah, see you later, AJ. What?
Are you freaking kidding?
This is the bit where LA Polite got a reverse Boston Crab. Punk said, "You're an idiot." We get the LA Knight, Jey Uso, punches. Jey Uso, just hanging on. His brother saves him. AJ goes for a springboard on the Usos, but they super kick him and eliminate him. Jimmy and LA Knight are battling on the ropes. They get all tangled up, and Jey Uso dumps both of them out.
No, that's an inaccurate recap. This is like Chandler's short story from Friends. Where it's like Jimmy and LA Knight eliminated one another. Jey Uso was there. He's about 5 minutes behind the spot, isn't he? They're tipping over the top and like, Jey, get here. He's like, I'm coming. Get over it. I'm coming over the top rope, pal.
And Jimmy has to sell it as if, what? How could you do this to me? How could this have happened to me somehow is what you should have said.
Well, you were in the room a bit.
He's livid, yeah.
How could you do that next to me?
But so that leaves our final two, Jey Uso and Dirty Dom.
Yeah.
And Dirty Dom's there, and I'm going, good, here we go. We all know how this plays out. It plays out the exact same. But I was like, go on, Dom. Gets him in position for a 619, gets backdropped out there. Jey Uso is the other number one contender going to Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, we covered all this off the top, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was boring.
The conversation?
No, the results.
Oh, the match. Yeah. The match wasn't very well performed.
No, it was a turd. What up, turd?
Well, let us know your thoughts on it in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. You can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow our producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back later on today to preview NXT. But for now, this has been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.